All right. So before we start the episode, I just have to admit that I screwed up on the audio for this episode of the podcast. So the beginning, it's going to start really abruptly. I just want to give like a little warning for that. So we're talking about a bunch of different free agency signings. Still, there's not much going on in NFL news, but we talked about the CBA, the new 17-game season, how that's going to affect everything, that stuff like that. So, but I just want to give a little intro, seeing as though I fucked up on the audio, and it's going to start kind of abruptly. So enjoy the podcast. Be safe out there with this whole quarantine situation. Episode 5. Here we go.
I know you kind of touched on it, before we even really got into it. One thing we haven't really talked about is how the CBA? They made it a 17-game season now. It's official.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
17 games. So it'll be 18 weeks the season now because each team gets one bye, correct? So it'll be 18 weeks.
18 weeks because it was 17 before that. Simple math.
Simple math.
I can still do math.
Bro, being in quarantine, I'm losing track of numbers over here.
One extra week. That's actually, I mean, it's cool for us. It kind of sucks for the players.
Have you read anything about the structure, though? Sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to cut you off. Have you guys read anything about the structure of how that's supposed to work? Like, is it? I was reading today something about it's an extra home game, right?
Yeah, they took away a preseason game or something.
Yeah.
So 3 preseason games now.
Yeah.
You probably won't see many of the starters. Even some of these star players, you might see him play one preseason game for like one series, if
you
that.
Won't see
It's going to be actually interesting for draft season because generally most drafts are week. Actually, no, this actually does have some interesting implications thinking about it now. Because most drafts are usually after that third week because you don't want players to get injured and, worry about losing like a stud right before the season. So, now are we going to see the studs playing week 2 instead of week 3? Or are we still going to see them out there? And are you going to see people doing drafts, the week after week 3 now? It's going to kind of be interesting to see how this plays on because, with a lot of these teams, I like to see the style of offense, what they're incorporating, where some of these guys are going to be, kind of try and get a look. And now we only have one less week to see, even though week 4 usually isn't much of a film to look at, but you have that extra week to prepare for week 4 for your drafts.
Yeah.
If it's week 3 and go, you're not going to have as much time to look at film and see what these guys are doing before your drafts. It's going to be, you might be drafting while the starters are finally seeing the field. So it's actually going to have some fantasy implications if you're someone like me who likes to watch the film right before you like kind of see how things are working, because it will change my rankings semi-decently after week 3. I do change my rankings looking at some of the systems.
Right.
Yeah, you're not sure how much these the players are actually going to play. Is it going to be predominantly the rookies and these guys who are trying to make the roster who are getting majority of the snaps? That's probably what it sounds like because they don't want these the studs getting hurt and whatnot. But I mean, for me, I know a couple of the players, they didn't really like it. I mean, obviously it got voted, it got approved, so majority vote that they approved it. But for me, it's kind of like, all right, now it's just one more extra week of fantasy. Like I love it. It's like, more fantasy is always good.
That's actually going to affect. You know what I didn't even think about is that I feel like that's going to affect. What was I about to say? I don't even remember. No,
the end of the season.
No, yeah, for fantasy even
Playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs. Yeah, because you're gonna. I guess it just means the same as.
Well, do you see teams? Well, do you see teams start to pull? Like, let's just say, maybe we can't use the Patriots anymore. Let's use the Chiefs now. Let's just say the Chiefs are, they're like 14-2, right? So that'd be 14-15, right? Or no. Let's just say they're 13-2 and they have 2 weeks left.
Yeah.
Are they going to pull guys in that week 16, like going in? Maybe they play a half and keep those guys healthy. Are we going to see 2 weeks of them kind of babysitting the guys if they already have a first round bye locked in? Like if we have teams like that, or are you going to see the 1 week? So that's interesting too because we don't know.
It could be an extended period of time.
Yeah, I'd still say if you're gonna do it, you do your playoffs that before the last week because generally most teams don't. It's a crapshoot the last week, so at least still do it week 17 instead of week 18. But that'll be interesting to see. If it's I mean, I wouldn't even mind playing it on the safe side where it's maybe for the first year you don't go into week 17 and 18 because you don't know what's gonna happen there. Because week 17 could almost be like another week 18. I mean, we haven't seen it yet, so it is kind of interesting to think about.
Yeah. Just more football, I feel like.
More football is always good. More fantasy points is always good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be one of those things where, I feel like at the end of the year, there's always a lot of teams who are like 7-6, 8-5. So, obviously, that extra game could be like the difference maker of, you getting in compared to, last year. Maybe
Well, there's an
didn't
extra
get it,
team
you know
getting
what
in
I'm
too.
saying? Yeah, in the real playoffs. Yeah,
That's another thing they changed.
I'm all about it.
Ooh.
I think it's good stuff.
I'm about it also. Same dad. All right, what are we doing?
Talking about my boy.
Your boy?
What's his name?
What's his name, Mike? I put these headphones on for one reason to see. It was almost like hinting you. I was like,
No, dude. It's like
it was like, wait,
Bro,
we
it's 'cause I
might
got
have
the-
a drop for something coming. Let me put these on.
there you go.
All right, now I'm taking it back off. It was fun, boys.
That's literally all you did it for the one thing.
If you see me put them on, I'm probably hinting you probably have a drop coming up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. You know what it is I was because I've been working on all these like graphics for the video for like I just didn't even think about audio.
Yeah.
Sorry, audio listeners.
So we got to get the drop.
You should give
I
us the
know.
thing to
Yeah,
hit.
we
Well,
should
don't
get the
give it to
drop.
me because I'll be irresponsible with it.
Yeah,
We'll
I
just
need-
hit the Ram drop.
Give it to Dad.
I do need
it.
it. I'll set it up with the. Actually, that wouldn't be that hard too. Nah, yeah, I definitely need to do that. I'll set it up for iPad or something.
We should just hire a drop guy. We can pay him what we pay you.
Nothing. Sick.
Give him free fantasy
Fucking
advice.
hell yeah. dude.
Hey, he's an intern, all right? You ride with us
go
as we
get some-
rise.
Some kid from UNLV
Yeah.
that doesn't have corona. Can we just pay notion to all of us having mustaches right now?
It's the I said the Andy Reid episode. You said the Minshew.
Minshew
We're doing
Mania.
Minshew Mania.
Nah, it's Andy Reid because if it was Minshew, we'd have to be in jock straps.
Yeah.
I feel like I have more.
That'll
of a-
be next episode.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
If anyone has,
I went
an-
to baseball practice in just a jock strap.
Anthony has more of an Andy Reid mustache than anybody.
I
His
feel
is
like I almost got like a
sh-
Randy Johnson look. I got like a little bit of the mullet in the back, the
Nah.
mustache.
Well, but Andy Johnson had a big long one. Like I feel like you have.
If I
like,
if I
yours
grow
is
this
short.
out, I might grow the mullet out.
Yours is
You
like-
have the Andy Reid mustache going.
no way.
Bro, throw it up on the screen for everyone to see.
It is
Yeah.
on the screen,
Oh.
Well, we can't see it.
bro.
No, you're good.
Yeah, it is pretty.
I
It's
was
out
trying to be quick on my feet and think of an Asian with a mustache, but I couldn't think of any Asian
No.
people with mustaches.
All right, well, enough mustache talk, I guess. I don't know.
Unless you mustache Drake, your roster.
That was a great one, good one.
That was kind of excellent. Well thought out there.
All right,
Leave me alone. The
So, yeah,
outside world, it's not real.
We kind of touched on Drake in like I think it was like 2 episodes. We kind of really touched on him. I mean, I know us being Dolphin fans, me and Anthony, we like Drake a lot. I guess we could just kind of like reiterate what we said before. But I mean, if they went out and they traded for him, obviously, you know, David Johnson wasn't getting it done in that system, and maybe it was just a system thing. Maybe, you know, with Bruce Arians, David Johnson fit the system better, and in this system under Cliff Kingsbury, Drake just kind of fits the system better. But I mean, he looked explosive in there, and we all know like the offensive line in Arizona was not very good. So to see him like be as productive as he was,
He was used to
you
it.
know, yeah,
Coming from Miami.
for sure. But I mean, I love Drake. I was doing some of my rankings. I did like my top 10 and 12 rankings. And I don't know if I just because I'm a Drake fan, but I've been wanting to throw Drake in there as like a sleeper top 10 pick. Just because I think, you know, if he gets the volume, I mean, we saw what he could do with it. I mean, you got DeAndre Hopkins over there now. Kyler Murray's in his second year. I would like to think that they're going to address that offensive line. I mean, you got to be able to protect your young rookie quarterback. He's not a very big quarterback at that, too. So I would like to think that they would address the offensive line in the draft. You know, and this could be one of the most explosive, most entertaining offenses in the entire league. So now I'm all in on Drake. As many Drake shares as I can get next year, I'm all in on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm into Kenyan Drake. I'm really excited for the Cardinals. Honestly, not fantasy related.
Yeah.
I just really think that they're gonna do really well this year. Yeah, I'm gonna be targeting Kenyan Drake in a
Well,
lot
you-
of drafts.
You hear people like I kind of hate these type of comparisons. They're like, oh, he's this year's Lamar Jackson, but I mean the potential's there for an explosion of some sort. You know, like you said, like Lamar, I don't know what numbers compared to paired, but side to side, but they're similar style of play, rushing quarterbacks. You know,
Kyler
yeah,
and
Kyler
Lamar.
Lamar. That's what some people I've heard say is he's this year's Lamar Jackson. I just hate using those comparisons. Like every year
Right.
someone's like, oh, it's this year's. I've done it before, but I'm kind of not
Yeah.
doing it anymore. Like it's this year's Phillip Lindsay or this year's fucking. Alvin Kamara this year I just kind of hate using that, but just say there is that upside built in Kyler Murray where he could be a breakout quarterback this year, and if he is, It's only going to help Drake's outlook. I'm trying to look real quick at where, just to kind of help out your point, because you're like, oh, I might be biased, but I kind of play with no emotion. I'm kind of becoming a heartless fantasy football player. But with that said, I'm trying to think, like, where was David Johnson going last year? He was going as a top 10 running back.
Yeah.
Some people had him as a number 1 running back.
The clown slur. Hashtag the clown slur.
But no, there were other people too that touting him as like a top 3 running back, top 5. So, I mean, people were just saying the system, the amount of volume. I mean, he could be slated for the role that David Johnson was getting in the beginning of the year and was supposed to get, but perform like David Johnson did that, what was it, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it is. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it's crazy at all to put him in your top 10. He might sneak into my top 10, maybe even potentially top 8 before season starts, because there'll be a lot of data I'll be going through and stuff like that. But, I mean, he could be what David Johnson was supposed to be last year.
Yeah.
Based off offensive upside, based off of touch upside, based off of his passing game work, his big play ability. I mean, he has that big play ability that you like, especially if you're in a bonus league, so you can get that 40-yard touchdown. Nice to have. But Drake.
My name is Drake.
For sure. I mean, and one thing with him is like, you see a lot of these players, like, they get the wear and tear. You see some of these running backs, for instance, like, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon, Zeke. These guys are getting like 300 plus touches every year, and for running back, the shelf life isn't as long as you would think. So one thing I say with Drake though is the tread is still fresh on the tires there, because I mean in Miami he wasn't really getting used. You had JJ there, and even I don't know, last year or whatever it was, he wasn't really getting used. I don't know, they were throwing Kalen Ballage in there here and there.
Why?
So I mean, he's got fresh wheels, he's fresh legs, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, all in on Drake.
All in.
I kind of think he doesn't even have that much downside.
No.
I mean, especially if they don't go out and draft a running back in the first 2 rounds, like, he's going to be pretty safe week to week. I mean, you got to say he's a lock for top 20.
Yeah.
And that's being generous. Like, that's like worst case scenario. That's like the offense falls apart. Kyler Murray takes a step back. And Chase Edmonds is like taking all the passing work. That's like worst case scenario, almost is like top 20.
Yeah.
So, I mean, kind of like a pretty high ceiling, pretty high floor. So he's someone, I might like targeting as like my RB2, who could be my 1 if I go receiver heavy. That's got some safety with him.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. All right, we're jumping to the next thing. So you got the Panthers finally cut ties with Killer Cam.
They killed Cam.
They killed Cam.
Cam
they obviously signed Teddy Bridgewater. They actually went out, and this is just a good story I like to hear, but the XFL quarterback, I think it's the Houston Roughnecks. I think his name's PJ Walker.
Roughnecks.
He was pretty much the MVP of the XFL for the limited amount of games before the whole coronavirus thing shut that down. But, yeah, the Panthers went out and they signed him as the backup. I mean, he's another Tyrod Taylor, Cam Newton type of quarterback. He can run the ball, but you kind of really saw, the development for that kid in the XFL out there. So just good to see, that, got cut from the Colts, went to the XFL, balled out, came back to the NFL, signed with the Panthers. But, so, yeah, Killer Cam is a free agent right now. I mean, it's looking like I would assume after the draft is when he might get signed, but he's definitely going to get signed somewhere. I know we touched on it last episode. I think Dre was saying, do you think he'll take a backup job and just, be the backup guy, and maybe he'll like Ryan Tannehill. He'll be this year's Ryan Tannehill in a sense, but I don't think so. I think he's got too big of an ego. He's too much of a we even just talked about it. He's too much of like a me guy, where he's not going to be able to just take a backup job. And,
for sure.
These backup quarterbacks, he went from making, $20+ million to these backup quarterbacks make, I think Teddy Bridgewater made $7.5 million last year, and he was the highest paid backup quarterback. So I don't think he's going to take that huge of a pay cut.
I will play backup for anybody.
Yeah.
You're out there.
I'll be the backup's backup.
You seen that Tosh 0 where he goes in a stand up where he's like, they're talking about how Brett Favre, the whole world thinks you should retire. And he's like, how much are you getting paid again? $10 million? Well, they can fuck off.
Yeah. He's basically said like, I'm gonna be playing until I get tackled and turned into dust. Like he's like, I'm never gonna fucking stop playing football.
He's like, practice squad, 150,000, sign me up.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's a really good stand up actually. What's it? What?
Sorry,
All right, bold,
out of that because
you're good. Bold predictions. What do you guys think for
team wise?
I mean, just looking for teams that need a quarterback. Obviously, the Bengals need a quarterback. Andy Dalton's still there. They're talking about they could trade him, but it's looking like they're going to draft Burrow. Miami needs a quarterback. I wouldn't be mad if they took him, but they're probably going to draft a quarterback. They might even trade up for Burrows, the Dolphins. You got the Chargers who need a quarterback. They got Tyrod there. I'm not sure if Tyrod is a starter, so it could be the Chargers as a landing spot.
It does seem like it would be. That's where I would guess is Chargers.
That's kind of my guess Chargers so far right now. Like if I had to put a favorite, I'd say Chargers probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all say Chargers.
I mean, the Chargers are a good one. I mean, do you think
Redskins?
Because you still have some quarterbacks like Jameis Winston still available. He's obviously going to get signed somewhere too. So
who would you guys rather have, Cam Newton or Jameis Winston?
I'll take Cam.
I want Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
I don't know how crazy.
I think I'd go.
You know
why?
Go
Jameis.
You know why I want Jameis? Because that fool is a gunslinger. And I don't know. They're just more fun quarterbacks to watch.
Yeah.
And it just seems like Cam Newton gets injured a lot, and I don't know. That's why.
Yeah. But did you see the video that he posted? It was on Instagram.
Oh yeah. I'll pull that up.
He was talking about how like they I forget what he was saying.
Oh, I don't know.
They gave up on me. They gave up on me. They didn't believe in me anymore. And he's like working out. So, like I said, I mean, he's an arrogant guy, and I mean, former MVP. He's been to the Super Bowl. He's national champion, Heisman winner. He won a community college or junior college national championship as well. So, I mean, the guy is a proven winner. I mean, I just think wherever he goes, he's still Cam Newton at the end of the day. I mean, if they'll let him run the ball, because his fantasy value was him running the ball. In the last year, especially with Christian McCaffrey there, it's like they kind of took away that running ability, and they kind of did these little dump offs to Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield instead of having him run the ball as much.
Yeah, let's just take out the landing spot regardless. In general, I'm not so optimistic on Cam Newton going into this year. I mean, he had the shoulder surgery the year before, which is kind of he wasn't the best thrower before that. Now he got a shoulder injury. Last year was his ankle he hurt, right, or something like that. Was it his ankle he went down with?
I think it's like his foot or
foot,
ankle,
knee, something like that. My question is just: is he gonna be the same runner he used to be? Because that's where he was making his fantasy, like you said, his fantasy heyday. It wasn't really in the passing game. He did have 1 year where he threw for 30. I think it was right around 30 touchdowns, and that was like his best season to date, which I don't think he's going to probably be throwing for 30 and running for like 6 or 7 like he was back then. So if he's going to have any value to me, it's going to come in the rushing game. And, he's 30 now, which doesn't sound that old, but for rushing quarterbacks, they go downhill a lot faster than the throwing quarterbacks do. So, is he going to be the same type of running quarterback he was? If then, I think he could have some value. But if he's not running, I mean, you did say they had Christian McCaffrey, but excuse me, he only ran, I think, 3 attempts in 2 games, the 2 games he played last year. So didn't show much. So we can't blame him for that. But if he's not the same running quarterback he used to be, I'm probably going to be looking at him as like a streamer no matter where he goes. This is kind of team dependent. It doesn't matter what team. But if he's not going to be running like the rushing quarterback he was, he'd be a streamer to me going in. This is just early take. Things could change, but not seeing him on the field yet. Like I said, that's something where preseason would help me with that.
For sure,
I might not see Cam in preseason if he's starting, so it's going to be hard for me to trust him. Not seeing what he's doing on the field. That's something where I do like to look at preseason. So
yeah, well, I think the quarterback's going to be pretty deep this year. We always preach like way down quarterbacks, so he could be a guy where depending on where he lands, like maybe I'll take one of these later round quarterbacks, like a Tannehill or Fitzmagic, just out there, and then maybe I'll take a Cam just for like the upside. Maybe try to like match up base those quarterbacks. And then if he's not as good, then
drop him.
I'll just drop him. So. We just jumped to the next thing. Got Manny Sanders. He signed with the New Orleans Saints. This kind of dropped like mid-episode, last episode we were doing. I know we kind of touched on it like briefly, but I don't think we went too like into like detail with it. But I mean, they finally got like another weapon outside of Michael Thomas for Drew Brees. I mean, for me, it's early, and I know the Saints always get dicked into the playoffs, but they're probably my favorite right now to win the Super Bowl. I mean, get Manny Sanders, that helps. Kind of like a couple guys on the offensive line were free agents. They re-signed them. I mean, you always got Drew Brees. That always helps. A couple defensive guys they signed as well, too. So, yeah, Saints should be pretty good this year. But, one thing we liked about Manny Sanders, that first year we did this, we called the Man Crush Manny. We saw the connection him and Case Keenum had, and, he balled out before I think he tore his Achilles, right?
His Achilles, yeah.
His Achilles. Last year, not so much.
I always say that now because that stupid fucking clip.
Oh shit.
Yeah, last year not so much with Drew Lock and whoever the quarterback was before Drew. I can't remember. They had like a carousel of quarterbacks and gets traded to the Niners. Even then, A couple games here and there, but nothing really. Do you think Manny Sanders got anything left? I mean, you think he's going to be 32 now?
Yeah, that was a funny video to be playing. I'm a little bit stressed out about not stressed
You're
out.
stressed?
No, I'm not stressed out.
My blood pressure's up.
No, I'm not looking at him the same as before. I'm not looking at him like I did when he was in Denver. I'm not looking. Even in the Niners, it was a little sketchy to be going for him. Yeah, no, I'm not looking at Sanders the same way. I don't think. What do you guys think?
You go first.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, everything changes year to year in fantasy. I mean, circumstances, the situation, the coordinators, coaches, which team you're on, your age, coming off an injury. There's just so many factors, and I mean, it's just crazy how a couple years ago, he was one of the guys we loved, and like I said, humble brag, he balled out. But yeah, I think this year I'm just staying away from him. There's too many mouths over there. You got Michael Thomas, who's just a target machine. I mean, Kamara to the backfield. You got Jared Cook, who kind of actually had a good year. He seemed to chuck the ball.
I wonder if he hit somebody with that.
I think he'll have a couple good games. Maybe like a wide receiver 3 flex guy in certain matchups. But yeah, I think, he's mainly just like a savvy veteran. He's no longer like the man crush Manny.
I
Teardrop.
disagree. Eyebrow raise ?
Oh,
So that was kind of my thought up until about an hour and a half ago. So let me explain. So I actually started digging through some of this is just a quick
an hour and a half ago.
I started digging through the numbers, and I noticed a pattern, which was Sean Payton. That's the coach's name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He plays, and then it's kind of like clicked where I've heard him say, like, people say, like, he plays with his talents. Like, if he knows he has a talented guy, he's being used. Like, he incorporates his good talents. Like, when Michael Thomas came his rookie year, incorporated him. You go all the way back to Brandon Cooks, Marcus Golston. You look when Alvin Kamara came, when Jimmy Graham was good, and certain players come in. He incorporates. If someone's talented, he puts them into the scheme. So there's been years where. And this is where it's kind of, I don't want to say easy, but you have a lot of historical data on a coach, so you can get something from it.
Yeah.
So anytime he's had someone who's a talented receiver, I don't think Emmanual Sanders looked slow last year. He looked.
No, yeah, he looked really good.
Yeah. Someone said he's like his speed score was even like faster on like the next gen networks than it was like the previous years or something like that. I heard. So, with that said, that's why I said ? Is because. Sean Payton has shown year after year where if it's just a, hate to say it, but Ted Ginn there, he's just going to be involved, and if there's a guy who's just average, he's going to be averagely involved. But if there's someone who has a talent, he will scheme for these guys to make plays and have abilities to make plays. So, it wouldn't surprise me from the data I saw, and I'm sure that you might even be able to take a look at it yourself now too, and kind of like see if you see the same pattern as me. Wouldn't surprise me to see him in 110 target range, and that's someone who we said before, top 30 guy, potentially with tied to a powerhouse type of offense. So I might be. It depends on the price.
Yeah.
I might be in on him at a certain price because I think we could see Sean Payton use him, scheme some stuff up for him, and potentially be a wide receiver 2-3.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
so
it's probably gonna go in like the 8th, 9th round, I would assume. Somewhere in that, given that area.
Yeah, if he goes in that round, I'd like him at that price.
Yeah. I think you just sold me right now.
Sean
Dang.
Payton sold me about an hour and a half ago.
Dang, dude.
About a minute and 30 seconds ago, your mind changed.
All right, so touch on the next guy. So you got Devin Funchess. You probably forgot about Funchess because he got hurt in the first game. I think it was the first game of the year. He was with the Colts, former Panther. Broke his collarbone, pretty much out for the entire year. Actually, he was out for the entire year. Signs a 1-year prove-it deal with the Packers. This is just kind of interesting for me because, I know you've done the research on this, Anthony, but we've noticed that, Aaron Rodgers can support 2 top 20. He's even done it a couple times where I think he's supported 2 top 10, top 12 wide receivers, back in the day with Jordy Nelson and Devontae Adams. So, I mean, obviously Devontae Adams, he's a top 3, wide receiver. But do you think Funchess could be that number 2? I mean, we kind of wanted MVS to be like this guy. He just kind of isn't it. He's kind of like a speedster kind of guy. You got, other guys like Kumaro and Lazard and I don't know, just all these other guys that just haven't really emerged. So obviously they go out and they get Funches, big body guy. No more Jimmy Graham there either. So I know he wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but obviously taking some targets, some red zone targets and whatnot.
God damn, that guy was open.
I mean, what do you feel about Funches here? They do have the 19th overall pick, the Packers. So there's a good possibility that they pick a wide receiver in the first round or even the second round.
This is like, I will say this is supposed to be a pretty heavy wide receiver draft class. So like they're comparing it, even saying it could be like the same year as Odell Beckham's draft class, which was like a shit ton of receivers. So I think with that, yeah, I think you're right. I think they will end up drafting a wide receiver pretty early in the draft. And so I'm not even really kind of looking at this Devin Funches. It seems like it's a filler role. It was like, what's his name, who we signed last year and dropped him really fast in Pittsburgh.
I know you're talking about. I can't remember.
From the Jaguars.
Dante Moncrief.
Yeah.
Moncrief? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's very similar to that kind of signing where
They paid him scraps. It was like $2.5 million.
Yeah, prove a deal.
scraps. It's so funny to say that.
Hey, I'll play. I'll be a body. Cut me.
Truly, though.
I'll take my preseason paychecks.
Yeah.
Hey, Loki, I'm
shit.
trying to try out for the XFL when it comes back.
Hey.
Special teamer.
Yeah.
Hey, honestly,
Give me screaming out there.
bro, you should. How much do they pay you?
Full
Like
speed.
50K?
I'm dropping the hips and I'm just fucking blasting through. If I hit him, the dude's going down.
Dude,
if
I'm
I
gonna
miss,
try and
I'm
be a-
flying 10
oh.
yards.
Oh, they don't really have kickers, huh? I mean, because they don't really have PATs, huh?
Oh yeah, huh? I'm going Canadian.
Yeah, I don't know.
Canadian, eh?
But yeah, I kind of think it's just a body move.
Yeah.
And then even so, let's just bring up the point that you talked about. Let's kind of take Devin Funches out of this. The wide receiver 2 situation in Green Bay, I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. Because that was the Mike McCarthy. That was the coach before, right?
Yeah.
I have Alzheimer's when it comes to coaches. Mike McCarthy era. That was the Mike McCarthy era where he was always carrying those guys. Now you have Peter LaFleur. LaFleur is the new coach there. So the system's changed. This is an hour and a half ago of research as well too. But it was that the Packers were always like, for years, they were like a bottom 5 rushing team. They were like 32nd, 27th, 31st. So they were a very pass heavy offense. Now they were a lot more balanced last year.
Yeah.
They were in the middle. Not only that said is I took like 3-4 years of data. The receivers were receiving about 370, 400. A lot more targets were going to the receiver position. Last year it was down to about 300. And the position that went up was the running back position. So now we have an offense that's more balanced from run to pass. We have an offense that's throwing to the running backs a lot more. Only one game did a receiver outside of Devontae Adams see 10 targets. So I just don't even know if that's a thing anymore. And then their system worked last year. They were 12-4.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to change too much. So I'm kind of pessimistic on the wide receiver 2 role versus where that was always like a value target where you'd take that wide receiver 2 and they were always good. So
Yeah.
just that spot in general, it might be something where I might just not be too big on it where, in the years prior, I was always big on that wide receiver 2 in Green Bay.
Yeah. For me, it's just it all comes down to if they draft a receiver. I mean, if they take a receiver in the first 2 rounds, obviously that just makes that, you're saying they're not throwing as much. It just makes it a lot less to go around. And we already know that, Devontae Adams probably gets one of the biggest target shares in the entire NFL. But if they don't take a receiver, then I'm not mad at it. I mean, he's a big body guy. Like I said, no more Jimmy Graham. It just kind of depends on the draft. And it's kind of hard to dictate some of these things, with the draft not here yet. So I'm not mad at it, though. I think if anything, it just helps Aaron Rodgers, at least another weapon for him, too. Because, Aaron Rodgers had that down year last year. How many games? I think we did it. He had that one game where he had 50 points, but outside of that, he was averaging
It was pretty bad.
14, 15 points per game, which wasn't very good for what you probably paid for Aaron Rodgers.
Did he
last
look the
year,
same
so.
to you guys last year? Because he didn't to me.
No.
Who, Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
No.
I've watched a lot of. I'm not a diehard Packers fan, but I've watched a lot of Aaron Rodgers because he's on prime time and he's playoffs and he I don't know. It just he didn't look the same.
You know what? I think it is I think Aaron Rodgers when he had Mike McCarthy, he was very much overused. So it's this past year, they're actually fucking running the ball more. They're actually doing using their running backs, using their backfield, which I feel like Mike McCarthy just kind of relied on him to win every game. Oh no, even if we're down in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, Aaron Rodgers is gonna fucking perfectly drop a dime to Devontae Adams to win the game. You know what I mean? So I think because of that, we're starting to see a different part of Aaron Rodgers. But you might be noticing something that I'm not, more mechanically with him that I probably couldn't be able to tell.
It was kind of a little bit slower with his pocket presence. His rushing yards were down too. I was actually looking at that. He was missing some uncharacteristic throws where it's like they were like off by like a good amount, and I was like, I know there was like some tough defenses sometimes, but these throws were just they weren't Aaron Rodgers throws.
Yeah.
Like it's like last year I used to debate people. They'd be like, if Rodgers was on the Patriots, you know, he would have been like better than Brady and this and that in the system. But like the Rodgers of last year, like I couldn't say the same about that quarterback. Like I said, this is I could be wrong on this. I don't watch him every game, but he just looked a little different last year. And maybe it was just a fluke year. But like I said, to me, I just noticed the games I watched him, it didn't look like the same Rodgers.
Yeah,
For sure.
I mean, it's definitely not the same.
Didn't look like that
if you
guy.
look at the stats too.
It's because he doesn't have a stash, dude.
I was gonna say, I was like, you think if we showed him our stashes, he'd come on the podcast?
I said
Hey, bro.
stats. I didn't say
yeah, but
stash.
maybe that's why he didn't do good last year because he didn't have the stash.
That's what it
Maybe.
is. No, 100%.
Bro, you see Minshew
Bro, there's a study that came out.
stash.
Yeah.
Ew, fucking
Just
story
saying,
tell
dude,
you.
I'm not a fucking doctor, but I'm just saying.
Here's the thing.
Follow the trends.
The story tell you, bro. Stash is the best. Make you the best.
All right, so we talk right here. We got Robby the Giraffe Anderson signs a 2-year deal with the Carolina Panthers. I mean, when I kind of saw this, I mean, I think Robby Anderson's a talented wide receiver, a talented player in the NFL. So when he went to the Panthers, I mean, it's good for the Panthers if you're a Panthers fan, but this kind of just makes things murky, in my opinion, for you got guys like DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, and you already got Christian McCaffrey there, who's a PPR machine, and then Teddy Bridgewater, who's the quarterback, who, in my opinion, you know, he went 5-0 with the Saints last year. But, you know, they didn't win on the back of Teddy Bridgewater. You know, they kind of just, you know, play. He game manager, defense, play the game, you know, did their roles or whatever. So I can't imagine a scenario where, you know, 3 different fantasy receivers can be supported in this offense, let alone you got Christian McCaffrey who's seeing over 100 plus targets every single year. I mean, no Greg Olsen there, so that kind of opens up some targets. But I mean, what do you feel like? I'm not even sure this is about Robby Anderson as much as it is DJ Moore, because I've seen DJ Moore going in some people's like top 10 rankings right now.
I mean,
That's too rich for me.
Yeah, I still like him, but top 10, I don't
that's
think I would
crazy.
have had him there prior to Robby Anderson signing. Sorry, I'm trying to look up some stuff real quick.
No,
if you guys want to go first.
What's it called? Yeah, no, I mean, I'm right there with you, Tyler, about with the whole like if you got Christian McCaffrey, he's like the most used running back, and not only in the league, but just in like the past like 5 or 6 years. You know,
Yeah.
he just gets like just so much usage and I just don't think that's gonna end. They're changing up their quarterback position yet again. I think. What?
The mic almost fell off the table.
Bro, the mic got mad at you ramming it, so he tried to ram you back.
The mic was like, turd.
Oh, that's funny.
He used his giraffe neck.
But yeah, so I'm right there with you. I just think when you have a running back like that, it's how are you going to spread that ball around, especially when you don't even know what's going on with the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, that seems super iffy to me. Do you think it's a bump though from where he was at before, like a little bit, like?
I would have liked him to stay in New York.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I think that would have
so.
been better for him, just with the connection him and Sam Darnold already had, and you know maybe a second year in Gase's system. But I mean, this new coach for the Panthers comes from Baylor. He's like a college. I'm pretty sure it's like a gunslinging kind of like Cliff's Kingsbury type of esque offense right here. So I mean, that's probably why they went out and got him. You know, they got 3 really good receivers. I'm just not sure that Teddy Bridgewater is the guy who's going to be able to throw the ball 30, 35 times a game, and then with Christian McCaffrey getting 7 to 8 targets a game, and then DJ, what does that really leave for the other guys? I mean, how many targets does Robby Anderson get? How many is Curtis Samuel going to get? How many is DJ Moore going to get? So, I mean, you could have some games where, yeah, DJ Moore explodes, but then you could have some games where he gets like 3 targets. You know, he'll get you like 2 for 28, and that's it. But then you have a huge Curtis Samuel game. This will just be a scenario where I'm probably staying away from all of these receivers just because I don't think I don't have that much faith in the quarterback.
Yeah,
That's not even including the tight end, who's going to be there.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of doing something on here, but yeah, I'm not looking at it. What do you think, Anthony?
To Anthony?
To Anthony.
Robby Anderson wise, don't like the move for him. It's definitely he's probably I gotta. It's gonna be. These are the hardest systems to look into when you have a coach coming from college because you don't really fucking know what they're gonna really do at the NFL. They pull their system, but they change it because it is like they have to make some adjustments. It's not college, it's pro, so we don't know what kind of system we're gonna see. I mean, even to see Kingsbury had to change his pretty quickly because it wasn't really. There were some things that weren't clicking when they first got in, like when they first started going. They were like, let's talk 100 plays a game. We're gonna fucking throw 95 times and fucking run the score to like. They're talking all these snaps, all this stuff that wasn't reality. So, with that said, it's interesting to see if the system changes. I don't want to say changes, but takes away some of McCaffrey's passing game upside. We had Norv Turner come in and just straight workhorse him. It was like 100% snaps, which you almost never see someone play like 100% snaps.
Yeah.
So that's interesting factor number one. Whereas like, does he see instead of 160 targets, I think it was, to like, does he go to 120, 130, which is still a lot. But is that something that changes there? And then I'm probably going to be out on Curtis Samuel. I don't think I'll even mess with him. I'll probably be out on Robert Anderson. I do like DJ Moore as a receiver. If he's top 10, I'm not touching him in top 10.
Yeah.
But there is the thing where some people might be like, oh, there's another guy in there, and it might more appropriately value him. Because he is a good route runner. He does lead the league in like yards after catch. He's been high up there in yards after catch, separations. So he's that guy that gets open on a pretty consistent basis. He's a good separator. That's easy for quarterbacks, especially if a new quarterback comes in, to kind of have that consistent guy where, his thing in college was he's a guy who's going to run those routes for a lot of receptions, quick hitters, type of targets, stuff like that. That's, he had 87 receptions last year. So, where was I going with this? I just lost my train of thought.
Bro, that's like my life.
Just drew a blank. The defense is the other part of this because this defense wasn't that good last year.
Yeah.
So we saw him in New Orleans where they have a good defense and he didn't really have to do a lot of stuff. Is this a situation where Carolina's not that good and Bridgewater has to go out and throw the ball a lot more? That's where I think you can maybe see a little bit more of a consistent DJ Moore, and then you can maybe kind of use one of these guys week to week where it's a week where it's like, all right, they're playing the Bucks and it's going to be a shootout. There's no defense and Brady's throwing and they're playing the Bucks.
Yeah.
That might be like, so that's kind of where that might get a little interesting. But I'm kind of hoping that it lowers DJ Moore more appropriately because I think he was being put up a little too high. If he's going in like that, like 5th round, 4th round, I might take some shots on him in some of those drafts because I think he could still be consistent, especially just given the type of routes he runs. But the offense is going to be tricky with the Baylor coach.
For sure. This will be one of those things where you really need to see it in like the preseason kind of.
This is one of those where I'm like,
this could actually hurt you with not having too much preseason to really evaluate and understand how the offense is going to be ran. So,
I honestly have never really gone with a Panthers receiver. I don't think I've ever had a Panthers receiver on a fantasy team.
I mean, DJ Moore was solid last year. He's really good.
I'm not saying it's bad.
12.
I'm just thinking off the top of my head. It's
like
hard. Yeah.
I'm trying to think who was the good receivers before them.
Steve Smith.
Oh, yeah, Steve Smith was there.
Yeah,
forever.
Mushin Muhammad.
I think that was. Wait, what?
Mushin Muhammad.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say Mohamed Sanu.
Oh no, Mushin Muhammad.
Oh, bro, so he doesn't know his Mohammeds.
Yeah, dude, get your Mohammeds right, Mike.
Yeah, Steve Smith is a little monster.
Yeah, I think he was the only person
savage.
I had.
Savage.
He's a coach for them.
I don't know if I ever
He's
had
a wide
Steve
receiver
Smith.
coach for them, I think.
Yeah. Did you see that video where he was like, I think it was DJ Moore. He was like,
he was shitting on him. He was pulling up. Oh, dude, I'll pull it up. It's pretty fucking funny.
Like, what do you think of the DJ Moore? He's like, who? Like, or something like that.
No, he had it. He had on fantasy. He's like, who? He's like, do you think should I draft this guy? Yeah, I posted it on.
He was like standing right there. He's talking to Cam Newton.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I have it.
Cam Newton's like, yeah,
I'll
he's
pull it
good,
up.
and he's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I would go with this guy first, and then I would go with this guy. Yeah, that shit was funny.
I mean, yeah, for me, I don't think I'm going to touch any of these receivers just because you got 3 mouths to feed plus Christian McCaffrey. That's 4. And then, like you said, even the tight end, no Greg Olsen, but Ian Thomas is there. We'll see if they draft a tight end in the draft, but there's just too much to go around, I think. And it just comes down to, do I trust Teddy Bridgewater? And I just don't.
It was right here. Right here.
DJ Moore? Okay. Should I ain't benching DeAndre Hopkins. Should I let John Brown be on the bench? Or?
That's kind of disrespectful. John Brown, he ain't no asset. He got a lot of choice selections. I'm giving you insider trade, so don't report me.
No, I'm just saying. So So should I take him off the bench? Because currently
He's literally sitting right next to him in this
What if
video.
I just flex? What if I put him at flex?
For audio listeners.
That just means an extra guy. Yeah. Put him at flex.
For audio listeners,
Wide receiver.
it's just Cam Newton and Steve Smith Jr. just talking about his fantasy lineup, and he's talking about a wide receiver, DJ Moore, who's literally standing right next to him. You think I should play him? It's fucking home. So go on YouTube and you can watch this skit.
Start you. You give me 2 points, I'm slapping.
He's like, just start. You or John Brown. He's like,
That's
me?
just funny, dude. That's great. You gotta have. I feel like that's like so important for like a coach to have a little sense of humor. You know what I mean?
For sure, yeah. We jump into the next one right here. This one, I mean, maybe it could be nothing really, but for the meantime, the Vikings, they go out. They signed Tajae Sharpe. He's actually from Tennessee. Coming out his rookie year in Tennessee, he was supposed to be pretty good. I think he got hurt. Kind of just injuries derailed him over there. But signs with the Vikings. He's now the number 2 de facto wide receiver over there. I mean, do you think this is anything? They do have 2 first-round draft picks. They traded away Stephon Diggs to the Bills. So now the Vikings hold the 22nd overall pick and the 25th overall pick. So I'm seeing a lot of things saying that they're most likely going to draft a wide receiver with one of those 2 picks.
Yeah, I'm. If they don't, I'm not mad at it. I'm taking a swing on it. What
Maybe
about
one of
you
these
guys?
like later round guys, but I think they do take.
I'd be
one
surprised
of
if they
these.
didn't take a receiver.
Yeah, they got to be able to take a receiver. You trade away Diggs. I think maybe this is just like a depth move right here.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? This means AJ Brown is just gonna go off or what?
Well, he wasn't even really part of the offense last year. It's kind of like irrelevant to the Titans' offense, and it could be irrelevant or relevant to the Vikings' offense.
How much did he sign for? Do you know?
It was. I'm not gonna say scraps, but it was in the scrap range from the NFL perspective.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I just think
It was something like a few like small couple 2-3 million, something like that. I think it was 3.2,
right.
2.3,
Just curious.
3.3.
So maybe it's not too much about Tajae Sharpe as much as it's more about like whoever the number 2 receiver for the Vikings is. Do you think the number 2 receiver for whoever the Vikings is going to have some fantasy value? I mean, do you think that Thielen's value is now, because it used to be like 1A, 1B, Thielen and Diggs. I mean, they would go right there. They were always like ranked right there, right next to each other. They'd always go like in that like 2nd, 3rd, 4th round area. Do you think now, with no Diggs, I mean, all they have is Thielen and Tajae Sharpe. I mean, obviously they probably will most likely draft one of these, wide receivers in the 1st round. Are you boosting Thielen's value? Do you think the rookie or even Tajae Sharpe has wide receiver 2 value for that team?
Tajae Sharpe, no, probably. I looked at him and he's just been, his stats are unimpressive, really unimpressive. I mean, I think he's just a body to come in for competition. I think they're going to draft somebody. I think it solidifies Adam Thielen a lot more. I think he's someone I'm like a little bit, he's Diggs in his own right. You want to talk top like talented receiver. He's probably top 25 talented receiver in the NFL. Tajae Sharpe's probably bottom 25. Not that bad, but talking bad about him. But just the talent level is nowhere. Like when you're a coach and you're scheming, you have these 2 top 25 NFL receivers. You can scheme. You're running your plays with these guys, and now it's like you have Tajae Sharpe, who's, let's just say he even is the 2. You're not like scheming to like get him the ball on a consistent basis. I think it's going to allow for Thielen to be a little bit more consistent. I think the interesting guy kind of outside the box is Kyle Rudolph. I think he's someone we might actually could end up being a sleeper as a tight end, because you saw when Adam Thielen was down, he was pretty consistent. So now you just take Thielen out, switch it with Diggs because Diggs is more consistent. So you lose that kind of other top receiver. Does this make potentially Kyle Rudolph someone who's like kind of a sneaky late round tight end? Yeah, that's kind of like where I thought about it, because I don't think Tajae Sharpe's going to really do too much. I think this is going to probably be a receiver who's drafted. And then even then, receivers are rookies. Sometimes there's development issues. They come along slower. So, this kind of made me like think about Kyle Rudolph a little more as like one of those sleeper tight ends. He's someone who ends up being kind of like that, like late round tight end who's kind of consistent for you.
Yeah, it was a red zone monster down the stretch. When
Thielen was down.
Yeah,
It's funny. It's like I feel like it's whenever we talk shit about tight ends, they just kind of come out of nowhere. Like last year, we talked so much shit about Noah Fant, and then towards the end of the year, he was actually looking pretty good. How much shit do we talk about Kyle Rudolph at the beginning of the year? I mean, I
can't
feel like
remember.
I don't ever remember talking about him. That's just how unimportant he was.
yeah, like I'm.
It was
Yeah,
like, so what do you guys think about Kyle Rudolph? All right, let's get on to the defense.
Next.
that's how we really were, and then all of a sudden he shows up. So we're talking how we're whenever we talk shit
So
about
should I
tight
talk
ends,
shit about
go
him?
draft them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my 2 cents on the matter.
So let me ask you this then. So would you think that Thielen could be top 10? Is he like a locked in wide receiver one now? No digs. I mean, even if a rookie comes in, he's still got to get acclimated to the league. He's still got to get the chemistry with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, as of right now,
Thielen a locked and loaded
he's
wide
probably
receiver one.
he's probably in my top 10.
Yeah. He'll be a guy who I'm definitely, be targeting. I'm assuming he'll probably go like in the second, third round in every draft. And yeah, he'll probably be a guy. We've obviously seen the connection him and Kirk Cousins have. We had that string of 8 straight 100+ yard games.
Hey, he was a fucking. If you had him, really 8-0.
Yeah, so yeah, he obviously last year, he was injured, so yeah, Thielen will be a guy that I'll be all in on. I'll be trying to get him in every single one of my leagues.
Yeah, yeah.
If I get him in like that third round cusp,
I
if
think-
you're like an early drafter, like you draft not early drafter, but you're like a top 4 pick.
Yeah.
You can get Thielen like on that like turn. You play your cards right. If you can get him early third or late second, that's kind of where I'd like to like.
What's
You
his
know,
What's
for
his
sure.
ADP right now?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna look it up, but
Pull it up.
because I feel like if you're in that spot, you're gonna end up having to get him at like 208 or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't think you're gonna be able to wait till the third round and come around and get him. Like say if you have that 4th pick, I don't think so.
Well, that's what I was saying. I wouldn't mind taking him at that 208 or something like that.
Here, let's see. And ADP 2020. Oh, round 3, pick 12. Get the fuck out of my face. That is not right.
Super early.
And no one's really mocking right
Yeah,
now.
that's
though,
true.
So the
Yeah.
ADP's going to be there. But I assume he'll be in the second, third round. I don't think he gets out of the third round, but I think he's worth it.
I mean,
he's worth it. He's one of those guys where to me, Thielen is going to be like a can't miss guy. As long as he stays healthy and he's on the field, he's going to be the surest thing there is out there.
Yeah. I mean, just right now, Kenny Golladay and Cooper are ahead of him. I'd take him ahead of both those guys.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, for sure. Wait, Amari Cooper?
Yeah.
Amari Cooper and Kenny Golladay. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. That's hot.
Keenan Allen, Kupp, and Lockett are ahead of him. I'd probably take all him ahead of all
I'm
three
taking.
of those.
Yeah, I'm probably taking a look at all those guys.
Yeah.
So you're looking at him with like this is just early. He gets into the Tyreek, Evans, Godwin. That's the next tier of receivers.
I would almost take him
I
over.
think I'm taking him over. Evans would be close. I might
That's
take him
what-
just because he kind of is the de facto number one. Thielen will be the de facto number one, and Evans has got to split with Godwin, and I mean maybe OJ Howard finally gets used with Tom Brady. Tyreek Hill, I don't know. Tyreek Hill's in a league of his own. Tyreek Hill's probably my 3 right now. It'd probably be like Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, then Tyreek Hill. And
Really?
my 3rd overall, yeah.
Dang. That's interesting. That whenever you when you ever put lists together like that, it makes me want to draft.
Yeah.
Could you imagine mock drafting right now?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do it. It's fun.
We talked about another situation here. Then we got you kind of touched on Tyler Lockett right here, and one of the reasons why I would definitely draft Adam Thielen over Tyler Lockett is the Seahawks. They went out and they signed Phillip Dorsett from the Patriots. He's a former 1st-round draft pick back in the day, Phillip Dorsett. So now they have Phillip Dorsett, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and they also went out and signed Greg Olsen. So this obviously isn't like a Phillip Dorsett thing to me, at least. It's kind of like a DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett thing. So just another mouth to feed in an offense. I mean, how do you feel about these receivers now? Because now you got 3, and you even got Greg Olsen, where we've seen the tight end in Seattle, have a lot of fantasy value. I mean, we've seen guys like Jake Hollister, Disley, yeah, just guys like that. We saw Jimmy Graham that one year had 8, 10 touchdowns. So we do know that in Seattle they love to use the tight end. So I think Greg Olsen has a lot of value going forward. But I mean, for these receivers now, you got, like I said, DK Metcalf kind of broke out as a rookie. Tyler Lockett was pretty consistent for the most part. I mean, do you feel comfortable taking these guys, or is it one of the situations where they have to fall to the right price?
I kind of feel like it's just par to the course. I don't really think anything changed.
Yeah.
I just think he's they kind of needed a 3. They didn't have anyone outside of Lockett and DJ Moore. I DJ Moore, sorry, DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
Yeah. I think it's just a good signing for the Seahawks. It's a little bit of a bump for Russell Wilson, but I think he's just going to be the 3 there. And probably, I mean, Tyler Lockett's someone, I don't know if I'll be touching him at his price this year anyways, but it doesn't really change my opinion on DK Metcalf this year.
Yeah.
I
still like DK?
Yeah, DK might actually be one of my targets. I think if he could take a leap, he might pass Lockett as number 1.
Yeah.
Phillip Dorsett, I will say, last year he won me a couple weeks towards the end of the year with the Patriots. But I will say I always notice it's like the Patriots just make every player look better. They just play to their what do they call it? Play to their
strengths.
Their strengths. That was me forgetting the word strengths. Okay, but yeah, it just seems like every time the Patriots have anybody on their team, they look really good, and then they go onto another team, and then they do play like shit. So if you're looking at like Phillip Dorsett and looking at his numbers towards the end of the season, kind of dismiss that. And
he was 29 receptions, 397 yards for 5 touchdowns last year.
Towards the end of the year, he started doing.
He had some decent games, but like you said,
I
Bill
feel like he
Belichick's
had
a
all
smart
those-
coach.
I feel like all those were in like 4 games.
Probably.
That's what I'm saying.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was like a stretch of there.
Right.
And it's like, I mean, even then, it's like he couldn't really, like, who was there in New England, like, besides Edelman?
They didn't have anybody.
And it's like they didn't really have anybody, and he couldn't even really take control over there. So it's like, it's just like he might not even be the 3. They might have Duron Moore, or what the fuck his name is, be the Duron Brown, end up being the 3, and he's just another guy in the rotation. So it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like a meh. I just don't think it really affects the offense. I think it more just helps Russell Wilson as anything, and it's a good move for the Seahawks team to get another receiver to help them out.
So DK Metcalf stays the same. Tyler Lockett, slight bump down. Phillip Dorsett's just nothing.
Yeah.
I think the only way he's anything is
And
if something happens.
it didn't really change my opinion on the tight end at all either. Which, like, you kind of on board with what you said.
Yeah.
About the whole like value and all that.
I mean, for me, it's early, but I think I'm just gonna, when like the MVP odds come out, I'm not sure if they're out or not. I know sports books are closed out here in Vegas because of coronavirus, but I think I'm just gonna throw $100 on Russell Wilson to win the MVP. I mean, even if he's like 12-1, I don't know what his odds are, 15-1, 20-1, but I mean, getting a guy like Phillip Dorsett just helps them. Obviously, like you said, he's better than the 3, and like if DK can make that next leap, we saw Jadeveon Clowney right now. He's on the screen, pick 6, but should be re-signing Jadeveon Clowney to the biggest defensive player deal in the league. Then, like I said, get Greg Olsen right there, just a savvy veteran, and like they like to use the tight ends there. So
Greg Olsen's gonna be nasty.
I think Russell Wilson could be sneaky. He could end up being like the QB1, sneaky wise. Sneaky wise.
Snake.
I feel like he's always.
I do like
up
those
there.
lime green uniforms though.
Do you?
I do.
You're just saying that because you fucking know I hate him.
No, I do like them. Do you see half my wardrobe?
Bro, yeah, he's got the EDC lineup. Wardrobe.
I mean, I'm wearing like a bright purple hat right now, but also, dude, that shit, that highlighter.
The highlighter.
I like the
it's
highlighter
so
green.
fucking stupid, dude.
Do you know? I will just wait till tonight when you're alone.
Bro, look, that you're saying that's dope.
I like it.
That's
You don't
the
have to
dumbest
like it.
looking shit I've ever seen. That is so stupid.
You blind the opposition.
I
with your
don't like.
uniforms.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It looks fucking.
Yeah. Well,
looks.
there's other
looks
people out
R-worded.
there who like.
You ever
bright
seen a
colors.
vagina by itself?
Not for me.
Not for me.
Truly though, dude. That shit is-
But yeah, no, I just think I like this for Russell Wilson. I think he could be the QB1 next year. I know there was a stat I saw. I think it's like 12 years straight that no quarterback
My
has
heart jumped right
repeated as the quarterback 1 from the previous year. So Lamar Jackson was the QB1 last year. So 12 straight years, no quarterback has repeated it. Obviously, Mahomes has a good chance as anybody to be the QB1. But yeah, I think I'm going to take Russell Wilson to be the MVP.
I like it.
I like it.
To your point and to Andre's point, he talks about how they don't have a running back. I mean, technically they do have 2 guys, but to his point, those guys have been injured.
Yeah.
So this is another reason to even potentially still like Lockett and DK Metcalf is, they've been running at a really efficient rate. Chris Carson and then Penny when he was there. If these guys aren't the same guys next year due to consistent injuries with them and they're, kind of out there, I hate to say the word plotting, but if they are somewhat plotting, who's going to have to pick up the slack?
Yeah.
It's going to be Russell Wilson in the passing game. And you did see a difference of they did pass a little bit more from year 1 to year 2 because the defense took a step back. So if the defense is just average again and the running game's not getting it done, they got to win football games. And if they're not rushing at the same level they were, Russell Wilson's going to have to pick up the slack. And you could see that old Russell Wilson where he was like QB1, QB2, QB3 type of guy. So, like I said, to Andre's point where he's talking about the running backs not being healthy, it is a concern you have to take into account. And then, like you said, Russell Wilson, another weapon. And if that is the case, he's going to throw even more than he has the last few years.
For sure.
I like it.
I like it.
Fucking like it. All right, so you got Tyler Eifert. He's still in the league somehow. I don't know after all the injuries he's had, but signs with the Jaguars. I'm not sure if this is any like news for Tyler Eifert as much as maybe this just gives Minshew a little boost to have another red zone weapon outside of Chark and D.D. Westbrook.
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah. And then it's like about that, eh?
I'm like, does he even have any highlights? Tyler Eifert?
Oh yeah.
In the last 5 years?
No. It's just like, what if someone put like a highlight reel and it was just Tyler Eifert on the sideline, just like cheering out his team. Like,
Him getting carted off.
He's cheering and then his back's like,
We should make that Tyler Eifert highlights. It's just him in the
It's him
fucking
getting
getting carted
fucked
off.
up. We're talking about someone being carted.
Well, I mean, that's just what it's. That's all you see of him.
I mean, he's just another big body guy. He's an oversized wide receiver playing the tight end position. So yeah, I think this just helps Minshew, and Minshew could be one of these late round sleepers that we say wait on quarterback. We saw last year as a rookie. He would come in and he was nothing crazy, but he gave you like 15, 16 points. So like he wasn't losing you your week if you just needed someone to throw in your lineup. So I think maybe year 2 Minshew could take a step forward, and he could be one of those guys where like I said, you're drafting in these later rounds, or maybe you get like a double quarterback system and he's one of your 2 quarterbacks. I think you'll be happy with Minshew.
New coordinator too. The coordinator could be a little bit more of a pass heavy coordinator.
Yeah.
And Gardner Minshew likes the big boys.
He's got that stash, boy. That stash.
All in on DJ Shark this year.
All right, next guy.
Man.
Next guy, this is another probably irrelevant, but Breshard Perriman.
He went all out of
signs to
order.
the Jets.
He won Mike a game, right?
Yeah, I
Didn't Perriman
know.
win you a game?
What?
Breshard Perriman?
No. Why is that? You're
Breshard
saying that
Perriman was
'cause that's my
pretty good down the
input?
stretch for a couple of people. When you had Chris Godwin go out, I think it was, and Mike Evans both go out.
Yeah.
So Breshard Perriman was kind of the de facto guy, and that might have been the reason why he got a nice little payday.
He needs to give James Winston a kickback. Like, hey,
for sure, right?
you got me this.
I'm not sure if this is anything more than like another roster move, kind of like a Tajae Sharpe, kind of like a Phillip Dorsett type of move here.
Who the Jets have left? Crowder?
They got Jameson Crowder and they got Demaryius Thomas. They do have the 11th pick in the draft, so a lot of mock drafts have them taking like a Henry Ruggs or Jerry Jeudy if he falls that low. So this probably is nothing right here. I think the only Jets wide receiver, depending on which rookie they probably draft, is Jameson Crowder, because I think we have seen the connection with him and Sam Darnold, the little PPR machine, even Adam Gase's offense. We saw in Miami, he likes to incorporate the slot wide receiver a lot. So I think Jameson Crowder could be a sneaky PPR guy. PPR guy. Sneaky PPR guy. But
that's for you,
son
Anthony.
of a bitch.
Anthony loves it when I burp. Yeah. I feel like with a lot, like, I don't know, just going off of what you're talking about, them drafting a receiver, I think there's going to be a lot of receivers this year that could be pretty sneaky, grabbing in those late rounds.
yeah.
Like we're talking about all these receivers moving around, but I think this draft class, especially in keeper leagues, for sure be targeting them.
It's a sneaky class.
It's a sneaky class.
Is that Perriman?
Yeah.
Bro, he was on every team, huh? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Former first-round draft pick.
He did actually kill it in the playoffs for people.
Yeah.
Because I had to
A
go.
couple
I went
monster
against
games.
him. I was like, God, this motherfucker's putting up like 25 spot.
Yeah, because Jameis Winston's just gunslinging, throwing the ball 50 times.
Does Jameis Winston hold the record for most first pass of the game, pick
Well,
six
he's got
thrown of
to.
all time?
He's got to.
It's not even close.
He's got to.
Damn.
Because I had Jameis Winston on a few teams, and it'd be like, Jameis Winston, interception return for touchdown. Well, that means he's going to have a good game, because he doesn't have a good game if he doesn't do this.
It'd be fucking Jameis. Like, the game, like, you just start fantasy, and, like, if you just had Jameis Winston, you'd have, like, negative points. You'd be like, how the fuck do I have negative points already? The game just started.
Kick
You'd be
off.
like,
Just
Jameis Winston, 0 for 1 interception.
Oh man.
I can't tell you how many times that happened. Because I'd be like, well, But like you got used to it. Like you weren't even like panicking. You were just like, oh well.
Yeah, all right, just get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Oh, there's another one. He's got -4. All right, it's all good. I'll still throw 3 touchdowns and 300 yards.
For sure.
How are you like that good but bad? Because you have to be somewhat good to throw for fucking 5,000 yards year after year.
Yeah.
And throw 30+ touchdowns, but you have to be bad.
Yeah.
It's like there's no like in between with him. There's no like consistency. It's just fuck it. I'm just gonna throw it. Like he'll make good throws, he'll make good reads, but then he also does the exact opposite.
Yeah.
It's just science, dude.
Science.
All right.
Would you take him or Big Ben?
Who?
Winston.
No, Big Ben.
I heard that they're looking at signing Jameis Winston to like a backup deal, and then when Big Ben retires, then he would take over. I wouldn't be mad at that.
I wouldn't be mad at it just because they're kind of like the same guy, like same type of. They're like the same type of quarterback.
He's better eyes now, bro.
Jameis Winston's not a piece of shit or a rapist.
Or white.
He's got his eyes fixed. Maybe that was the problem.
I know. It's like, how do you not get that fixed? Like, you're in the league for, 4 or 5 years, and you're just like, oh, dude, maybe I should get my eyes fixed. He gets, like, LASIK surgery on his eyes. Like, that's just wild.
Maybe he was just like, I need to come up with an excuse for throwing all his picks. Hey, Doc, you're going to tell everyone you gave me LASIK? I'm going to give you 10 grand? You gave me LASIK because I need to come up with something for throwing so many picks. Put some cotton balls in my eyes, I'll walk out.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it, like, just because of the same type of quarterback, but, like, I wouldn't be hyped on it. I'd rather have us just wait and then try and draft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just kind of see how this goes this year. Well, I think we've signed Big Ben for 2 years. So.
You still got Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, good.
He's alive.
We should have just kept Josh Dobbs.
Who's he playing with? Colts?
He was with the Jaguars. I think he moved again.
None of those guys are good.
I think they released him.
Dobbs, Mason Rudolph,
Dobbs only played like a little bit.
He wouldn't have been good.
No, for sure. But like the couple plays he did, it's one of those things where you see 2 plays, so you're like, I mean, he did good in those 2 plays, but you really can't base it off of that. If you go off of his college, he's not that.
I think it'd be good for
Fantastic.
Juju if Winston was there.
Oh yeah, if Winston was there, Juju. Yeah.
Damn it! Interception again.
It's like that. I mean, fuck it. Juju's got to be over there somewhere.
It really do be like that with Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's depending where he lands, it'll be interesting because obviously, where he goes, if he's a starter, for him being a gunslinger, it'll definitely boost the value of certain play. Like if he was in Carolina, I would love DJ Moore and like those guys over there because I'd be like, oh, well, he's a fucking gunslinger over here. But with Teddy Bridgewater, who's might only throw the ball 25 times a game, and might not even get 250 yards, then I don't like that situation. But
Right. It's just science, dude.
Dude, yeah.
It's just science. You're wicked smart.
Fucking wicked smart. Well, anything else you guys want to touch on?
Draft's supposed to happen still. Same time.
Yeah. We're going to do... I actually didn't talk to you guys about
We
this.
should just go to the Bellagio.
Live
from the draft. Hey, we're in a group of less than 10, so
let's just set up
we'll have social 10 feet apart each.
Let's just set up a green screen.
And then we could get like little act figures and walk them down.
I want.
Okay, what's that team? Action League Now.
Action League Now.
Oh, that shit is super funny. No, dude. I was thinking we should just throw up a green screen, like where that black wall is, and then just have like the
black.
I was gonna say that.
where the wall that's black, dude. What the fuck do you mean?
I knew he was gonna say that.
But listen, and then we're just gonna play the draft behind us. Like
Okay,
I'm gonna chroma key it in, and then it'll just be playing behind us.
I like
and then
that.
hopefully we don't get copyrighted for that. We'll see. We'll see how this stream went, if we get copyrighted or whatnot.
Yeah, dude.
Good so far.
Bunch of
It's
bitches.
good. I mean, yeah,
copyright.
it didn't end yet. So but yeah, I haven't talked to you guys about this, but we should definitely do a live stream for the draft, and then also we need to do. Oh, dude, I know it's ridiculous. I changed it earlier.
It's a massive light bulb.
It's a big ass light bulb.
Yeah, for audio listeners, Jesus Christ, it's like literally as big as my head, and I got a big head. Super sidetracked. Go on YouTube if you want to see what we're talking about. No, but we need to do a prediction podcast. we're gonna predict our like who's getting drafted. What we're gonna put our official lists up there. That's what I think.
Our
we should
mock.
do.
Our mock.
Our mock live like full draft.
After the first 5
First
picks,
day.
I have no idea.
No. First round at least. Let's do first round.
For sure. That'll be something the Messiah, a.k.a.
Yeah,
Andre
we'll
Navarro,
get-
he'll be good
We
at.
might just have to have Andre.
We'll get Dre.
because I don't know any college players.
Dre is that guy who just goes.
Or we could
so
have another
deep.
guy on the show who follows college. Bring a guest in.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, if you're watching this and you want to be a guest on the show for the draft, you follow
sure,
college,
yeah.
come on.
Like, come
Have
on
some,
down.
Drink some Coronas. We'll have some fucking.
The sideline reporter.
Yeah.
Wait, who's the sideline reporter? Didn't we have someone?
That was good. Whenever like people tell me news, they'll be like, "Hey, did you hear about this?" And if I didn't post anything, I'll just be like, I'll tag them. I'll be like, a couple guys like Evan. I'll be like Evan with the sideline reporter, Rainer with the sideline report. Although it's funny, like Rainer, one of my buddies. People don't know who this guy Rainer is, but one of my coworkers' name's Rainer. Do a fantasy league with him, but he told me something. I posted it, and then that information actually lost some guy a week. And he came up to me. He's like, "Bro, I fucking benched this guy because you posted this." And I was just thinking, like, "Bro, the fucking Rainer told me that." It's the sideline reporter's fault, dog, not mine.
Yeah. Can't be trusting these networks.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Which is when people ask for advice and then they get mad when it doesn't work out. I'm like, dude, I don't know the fucking future.
Yeah.
I'm not a goddamn.
And we're not the fantasy counselor who just blames everything when we're wrong.
This guy's a fucking idiot.
Bro, come on. I mean, eventually, if he keeps saying Christian McCaffrey's gonna suck, he's gonna be right one year.
but he didn't double down. He came back. He I don't know. Anyways, know too much about this. All right, that is all we got for you for today. This has been the Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast.
Go subscribe.
Yeah, if
It
you haven't
takes
subscribed,
30 seconds.
we
Probably
did
less.
get one subscriber during that.
Click
podcast.
on your
Thank you,
YouTube.
Cedric Williams.
Type in Average
What's up, Cedric?
Bros and hit the subscribe button. Everyone's in quarantine. Everyone's at home. You're not going out. You're not going to work.
Yeah, I don't hear no bullshit excuse. Well, I was busy.
Literally, it takes 30 seconds. If you could help us out, it'd be much appreciated. You know, like we take time out of our days. You know, we don't get paid for this, not yet at least. And, you know, we're putting a lot of hours. Mike's always back here doing a ton of stuff. You know, me and Anthony, we're doing research, you know, in other things. You know,
Yeah,
if you
just
could
go
just go
subscribe.
out there and, you know, subscribe for
Just
us, it'd be much appreciated.
Just like this video. If you're on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and give us a rating. You just scroll all the way down. Give us a 5-star review or give us a 5-star rating with a review. That would be helpful. You can even write whatever you want. You can just write poop, 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 blah, blah, blah in the review if you wanted.
Just to make a fake
Just rate us,
account and
rate us 5
poop.
stars. Yeah, so do that. Anything else I was gonna say? Oh, Twitter, Average Bros.
we have a TikTok.
Instagram, TikTok. I just posted like funny clips from the podcast. So if you want TikTok, Average Bros FFP, or I think it's AVG Fantasy. But that is all we got, baby. So thank you for listening. This has been the Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast, and we're out. Episode 5, Season 3.